today. He is an NBA analyst for the NBA games that are broadcasted here in Indonesia. He's also an NBA enthusiast, and you can follow him on Instagram at AuthenticID for some great NBA content. Good morning, Irril. Good to have you here
Morning,
in the studio.
Paul. Good to see you.
Thanks for joining me, by the way.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, so listen, before we get started, I know your son, your older son, is a huge Golden State Warriors fan. You've lost some bets along the way throughout the playoffs. So congratulations to your son for holding on to the team that eventually made it into the finals. Now, both teams, you could argue, can have the word dynasty matched to it. For one, the Warriors, some say are a dynasty in the making, 6 finals in the last 8 years. The Celtics, as we know, have been a dynasty for a very long time and now are starting to revive memories of the past again. Let's start with the Warriors. 6 finals in 8 years. What does this indicate for the team? Because we do know 2 years prior, the injury to Klay Thompson, several injuries to Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry as well has missed, in fact, being on the stage as well. So what does this mean to the Warriors, do you think?
Yeah, I think whenever the core players are still intact, you know, Steph, Klay, and Dre, they're pretty much unbeatable.
Okay.
Other than the 2016 when they got beat up by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right.
Other than that, it's been smooth for them.
So do you see this as still a very strong team that is very similar to the championship teams of several years ago?
Yeah, of course, people say the dynasty has been over for the Warriors.
Right.
They've been loading for another dynasty.
Okay.
You know, with the addition of Jordan Poole, guys like Wiggins. We've seen how great Kevon Looney is. His growth, he's become a smarter player. Not flashy type of center, you know. He cannot shoot from threes, but he can.
It's more of a traditional center.
More traditional, yeah.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the Celtics, their opponents for this first round. The Celtics, I would argue, have had the tougher road to the finals. They've had to knock out Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving in the first round, even though that was a sweep. They've had to take down the Milwaukee Bucks, the reigning champion Milwaukee Bucks. Plus, in the last round, they took down the #1 seeded team in the East, the Miami Heat. Some will say that having a difficult road to the finals will actually prepare them better. What do you think the Boston Celtics' chances are? Because a lot of people say, hey, 3 conference finals in the last 4 years, all of which they have lost, and eventually they made it over that hump. Do you think that they have kind of, are they just happy to be here in the finals? Or do you think they've got that urge to win the finals?
I've seen some mixed predictions for the finals. Some analysts say that if there's one team who can beat the Warriors, it'll be the Celtics.
Okay.
You know, they're guessing the Celtics can win in 7. I still think fatigue will play a factor.
And Celtics will definitely be the more tired team.
Yeah.
They've been stretched to
They
game
got 2
7.
straight Game 7.
Okay.
So Warriors are more fresh. And but I'm not discounting anything from the Celtics.
Okay.
They can surprise everyone, and they can beat this Warriors team.
Okay, let's stay on the Celtics here a little bit. The Celtics have something that the Golden State Warriors don't have, which is size.
Exactly.
They do have Robert Williams III, who is, you know, arguably a little bit injured, but who isn't in the finals. Al Horford, who is playing amazing. He's the one veteran. He's got size. He's got a nice shooting touch, and he's got that veteran leadership that he shows from time to time on the court as well. Is this going to be a problem? Is size going to be a problem for the Warriors?
Yeah, I think we've seen from the previous series of the Warriors and Dallas, Kevon Looney got 22 rebounds. You know, like 11 offensive rebounds. I think that's not going to happen against the Celtics.
Okay.
They got all the manpower to protect the rim inside, and you know, guys like Al at the age of 35, Robert Williams, they're going to be a big factor in the series. Okay. How to stop, how to prevent the Warriors from scoring inside, while keeping close of the shooters.
True.
You know, it'll be a tough assignment for the Celtics. Right. Actually.
Well, Celtics have been dubbed as the best defense in the league currently. Defense is going to be a big factor in this one because it's almost like offense versus defense in this finals. Now, if you look at the Golden State Warriors, they, throughout their championship years, several years ago, were known for their small ball death lineup. Now there's a death lineup 2.0. They've got, basically, they've got 3 Splash Brothers now. They've got Steph, Klay, and now Jordan Poole, plus Andrew Wiggins. And it really doesn't matter who you put in the 5th spot,
exactly.
Is this going to be a problem for the Celtics defense?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look at it, you have 2 Splash Brothers. It's already too much.
Tough to stop.
And now they add another one. And Jordan Poole, you basically see 2 Steph Curry on the court at the same time. with more explosive in Jordan.
He's more athletic.
He's more athletic, and so the defense they have to be disciplined.
Okay.
All game. They don't want to waste any game. We've seen some blowouts in the Heat Celtics series.
Right. That was an ugly series.
Yeah. So the margin of error in this finals is very, very, very small. For the Celtics to even have a chance to win. So they just have to stay disciplined. When the two teams with the great defense meet with one another, it all comes down to who's going to make buckets down the stretch.
Right. It's going to be it's make or break league.
We know Warriors got so many weapons, and Celtics, of course, have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. Mm-hmm. So everyone just have to step up and prepare for every game, not wasting any game.
All right, yeah. So a lot of people also say that if the Celtics are going to have a chance in the series, because Golden State have had a little bit more of a rest, that first half of Game 1 will be a chance for them to try to kind of blow this thing open and steal one on the road.
Yeah,
do you think the same?
Yeah, I think the Celtics have proven to us that they can win on the road.
Right.
They won Game 7 on the road. So home court advantage it's a plus. It's a advantage for the Warriors. They will play Game 1 at Chase Center. Mm-hmm. But Boston will be prepared.
Okay.
To battle. I'm pretty sure.
Let's talk a little bit of matchups here. Who is going to be charged with defending Jason Tatum, do you think, from the Golden State Warriors?
It's going to be Andrew Wiggins.
Okay.
It's going to be Andrew Wiggins. He got Luka. He's always got the best player on the court, pretty much, the number one scorer on the team. So it's going to be a tough assignment for Wiggins. And we're going to see a lot of great matchups.
Okay.
Starting from Steph against Marcus Smart.
Right.
JB against Clay.
Right.
Tatum against Wiggins. Al against Draymond and Robert Williams, Kevon Looney, and everything. So it's going to be a great battle.
It almost matches up perfectly.
It almost matches up. So this is the dream finals for me at least, and I believe for everyone.
For this season.
Whose two teams are going to match up evenly.
Right. Well, actually, our dream finals would be if the Thunder met the Raptors. But
that's going to be in 3 years.
Okay, so listen, we've talked about how these teams are going to match out, but we also know that they have met twice in the regular season.
Yeah.
The series was a split with the Warriors and Celtics winning actually on the road. Both of them actually won on the road. What does that indicate to you in this for this series? Does it mean nothing at all because it's the regular season, or have you seen signs of something from their regular season match?
I don't think you can read too much from the regular season.
True.
We've seen what happened with the Memphis and Dallas. They both won in the regular seasons against the Warriors, and they ended up losing. So it's pretty much who's going to be ready for the finals. I think the Warriors got the championship DNA. They all got the mentality. They know how to finish the game.
Right.
So there'll be Celtics will be the underdog in this series. So I'm always rooting for the underdogs every year. So
I noticed that.
I think the Celtics will be the underdog. So the Warriors better be prepared. So like I said before, there was some mixed prediction for the series. So it's not like the Warriors are the clear favorite to win the title.
Okay.
Celtics might push them to 7 games.
Okay. I myself have been looking for weaknesses because when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, it's very hard to find them, especially in those epic series against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. One thing that I've noticed is turnovers. The Warriors tend to get sloppy with the ball. They get a little bit loose, and they've recorded 20-plus turnovers several times this past playoffs alone. Do you think turnovers will be a problem and a hole that the Boston Celtics can exploit?
Yeah, actually it happens a lot when you play like the Warriors with the constant motion offense they run. It'll be tough to stop them to score in transition, so it'll be an assignment for the Celtics to not let them score in transition and let them play half-court offense. So I think the Warriors have limited the turnovers in the series against the
Dallas Mavericks, right.
It was pretty bad against the Memphis. It was like 20 turnovers every night. So I think they're ready to look at the film and found some mistakes that they made and fix the problem.
So you think they've actually learned from the previous series and kind of adjusted accordingly because they were a little bit careless in the previous round?
Yeah, of course, because the Celtics are the toughest team that they have to face in this year's playoff. Well, no discredit to Dallas, Memphis, and Denver.
True.
But this Celtics team is different, bro. They started the season struggling. They roaming around the play-in tournament and suddenly become the number 2 seed.
Right.
So it says a lot about the character that Ime Udoka built for the team.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of great moments from the pairing of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and especially the X factor of Grant Williams. I like the guy. Grant Williams will be good in this series.
Right.
So I hope it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Well, you mentioned Grant Williams. Grant Williams is also a person that kind of sparks the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Full of energy as well.
Yeah.
But we do know that he did have to cover a lot of ground when Robert Williams was missing due to injury. Who is the healthier team in your opinion, and will injuries play a big factor in this series?
I think both teams look healthy now.
Okay.
Especially I've heard some news about Gary Payton II. He's supposed to come back. He's supposed to come back in some way along the way. And for the Celtics, I think they're healthy enough to go to the finals, and hopefully no one gets injured, especially the star players. I'm wishing everyone, Dub Nation, Celtics Nation, to have a fun series with the full team.
Right. Nobody wants to see injuries or teams benefit off injuries, even though my team benefited off a Golden State, a very good injured Golden State team in our championship years. Let's talk a little bit about Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of, if not the greatest shooter of all time in the NBA. However, throughout their championship run, he has never won an NBA Finals MVP. The first one went to Andre Iguodala, and as we know, the next 2 went to Kevin Durant. What are his chances of, do you think, I'll just reword it. Do you think he's gunning for that NBA Finals MVP, or do you think he really doesn't care at all? Because there's the one criticism against him is that on the biggest stage of all, he's not the best player. What do you think?
It's about time.
Really?
I think it's about time for Steph. And he won the conference finals MVP.
Right. Close,
so
but
it's close,
not quite
but
there.
It's not what he wanted, actually.
Right.
He's chasing for the finals MVP, I believe.
Okay. What do you think it's going to take? Because do you think just like 26 points per game will be enough, or do you think he needs to just perform out of this world? Because it's going to be difficult with a lineup full of shooters where it could be anybody's night at any point. It could be Jordan Poole one night. It could be Klay Thompson another night. Or defense could play a factor, just like when Andre Iguodala got dubbed as Finals MVP.
Yeah, I think Steph needs to have some big nights, not just one, not just 2.
Right.
Pretty much every single game. And how he finished down the stretch will pretty much determine the outcome of the game. So I think we expect some great moments from Steph, not just from Steph, but also from Klay and Poole and basically everyone on the team.
All right. Marcus Smart has just been also named as Defensive Player of the Year. I would say well-deserved. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. How much of a disruption do you think he can be? Because we do know on the other end, we've got Draymond Green, who many has said he's one of the best defensive players still in the league currently today.
Yeah, I think Marcus Smart will go through some tough tasks chasing around Steph.
Right.
You know, the Warriors' offense is very unpredictable. You don't know where the point of attack is going to be, who's going to attack. They're playing not like other teams in the NBA. So it's going to be tough for Marcus Smart especially, but he's a Defensive Player of the Year for a reason.
Right.
You know, I think he's ready to handle the task.
Okay, so basically he's going to have a tough task ahead of him as well.
For sure.
Last but certainly not least, I need your prediction, Irril. Who's it going to be and in how many games?
I'm not betting against the Warriors, so it's safe to pick the Warriors winning this series in at least 6 games.
Okay.
But I'm not surprised if the Celtics can surprise us and push this series to 7 games and eventually become the NBA champion. Their time is now.
Right.
This is the best time for them to win the championship.
This is their peak, and their window right now is wide open as well. Then let me follow up with this question. Will your son let you bet on the Warriors as the winners?
No.
I don't think so.
I have to go with the Celtics.
Anyway, Irril, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to check in with you again throughout the series to find out and break down some of the games and the upcoming games as well throughout the NBA Finals. In the meantime, guys, make sure you give Irril a follow at AuthenticID for some great NBA content as well. Thanks for dropping by the studio today. Folks, stay tuned. We've got entertainment news coming up next.